the seven heavenly virtues as VTubers. What even are the 7 heavenly virtues? I only know the sins. 7 deadly sins. What are they? Greed, envy, gluttony. What are virtues? Either way, before we get into the video, currently, we just started our petition over on Uwu Market for a Kitsunero plush. Very puntable, very punchable. You have time up until the start of August, 1st of August, 10 a.m. CEST to pledge. It's already funded. So, if you want a plush for about $30 plus shipping, go get yours. And now, let's get into the video.
Alright guys, whoa. There are 7 VTubers that perfectly embody these 7 heavenly virtues. These virtues...
Oh, here. Cardinal virtues of prudence, justice, temperance, fortitude, with the 3 theological virtues of faith, hope, and charity. The fuck is temperance? Justice? Prudence? Prude. So like being like, innocent. Fortitude? To hold back? Okay, chastity is out of the game here. I had to look it up too, lol. Okay. Either way, if you don't know who this is XenoQuest. We've watched a handful of his videos before. He makes good, what is it called? Essays, I feel. I enjoy his videos, so yeah, let's go.
Include temperance, charity, diligence, kindness, patience, humility, and chastity. Each of these VTubers perfectly embodies one of these virtues. Hi, I'm Xeno. I will be your host. I'm supposed to be a Gundam, but my audience just calls me Timu Optimus Prime. Subscribe for Timu Optimus Prime. And while you're at it, you might as well click the join button and
the bell button. Hit the bell button, turn on all notifications, join the Discord, follow on Twitter. All the good stuff. Use code Kitsunero for 10% off of your GamerSubs purchase. Pledge for the Kitsunero plush.
Thank you to everybody who has already clicked the join button. You guys are legends. Now, let's begin. Humility is described as the quality of having a modest view of one's value or importance.
Isn't... Wait. The quality of having a modest view of one's values or importance. Isn't it also being humble? Isn't it kind of the same, like English language? Having humility is being humble, kind of? Yeah, humbleness, it's right there. God, I'm blind.
And for some reason, this is a virtue that so many VTubers struggle with. But there is one VTuber who had more reason.
VTubers struggle with this? The quality of having a modest view of one's value or importance. I don't know. I wouldn't say many VTubers struggle with this. I feel like a lot of VTubers are very humble. Like, sure, there's many that are just assholes. I mean, look at Cinder. But, you know, I think most VTubers, no, are kind of humble.
Value or importance. And for some reason, this is a virtue that so many VTubers struggle with. But there is one VTuber who had more reason than any other VTuber in history not to remain humble. And yet she remained humble all the way up until the end.
I'm thinking of so many instantly. Shy Lily, Ironmouse. Like, what?
Gura is accurately been described as the largest VTuber in the world. She is getting close to 5 million subscribers.
She did it again. She hit 1 million again.
subscribers with fans all over the world, truly global reach. She has brought VTubing to a vast new audience. She has an unprecedented ability to connect with people and have people who have never seen VTubing before instantly accept her and VTubing. My favorite example of this is when she sang "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" at the LA Dodgers, and
her singing there was so cute, man. I missed Gura. Just watch Saba. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, chat. I've watched Saba's streams. She seems so much happier. I'm gonna be full on honest. She can just do whatever the hell she wants to now. She's got the freedom. I'm so happy for her.
Had the entire stadium singing excitedly along with her. And these are baseball fans, not VTubing fans. And I don't think there's a big overlap.
There it is. Now, Dodger fans even use her merch as good luck charms, the merch they got at this game. It's actually so wholesome.
Sticking with the sports theme, I've seen people call her the LeBron James of VTubing.
Yeah, sure.
A titan and historical figure within the community. And yet, I would challenge you to find one clip, let alone multiple clips, of Gawr bragging or boasting.
No, I have never seen her brag or boast. But I've also never seen Lily or Ironmouse ever brag or boast. Or Ame. Or, like, literally name any other big VTubers. Kitsunero, yeah, Bao. Bao only boasted about being inflatable.
And that is with her being definitively the top dog in the community for consecutive years. Yet despite all of that, she remained humble. And with her graduating, I can now confidently say that Gura remained humble all the way up until the end. And for that reason, I call Gura the embodiment of the virtue of humility. One of the most underrated factors in Gura's success is her own personal hard work. Yet there is one VTuber who surpasses even Gura when it comes to working diligently. Diligence is described as the virtue of careful and persistent work.
Yeah, I've heard of diligence. I've heard that word before. Gura barely streamed, because she wasn't happy.
Effort. And Vedal 987's diligence has led to the rise of not one, but a whole family of VTubers that has broken records and captured the hearts of people around the world.
Yeah.
Vedal is a drunken British turtle VTuber, and if you've never...
Turtle boy, speaking of Vedal, I know he says it's pronounced Vedal, but I prefer Vedal. I don't care. Vedal, there's a turtle plush right now out for him. Super adorable. Exactly looks like his model.
If you've heard of Vedal, you've almost certainly heard of his most famous creation,
Neuro-sama.
Neuro-sama, and also her twin sister Evil, and quick shout out to Filtered Sama, everybody forgets about Filtered, are all AIs. And if Gura is the undisputed queen of VTubing, then Neuro-sama is the undisputed queen of AI VTubers. Maybe just the undisputed queen of AI in general.
Yeah. Neuro-sama is legitimately the best AI I've seen. And Evil. Both. Like, Vedal, Beetle, whatever, did such an amazing job.
She recently displayed her superiority over Grok. Yet none among this family of AIs would exist without the diligent hard work of Vedal. You see, Neuro-sama was not originally intended to be an AI VTuber.
Yeah, it was just supposed to be an AI / bot that plays, what's the freaking game? Osu, yes, Osu.
Instead, she was intended to be an AI for the rhythm game Osu. But
There it
then
is.
one of Vedal's real-life friends gave him the idea of creating an AI VTuber, and so he converted this Osu AI into what we now know as Neuro-sama. But
I wonder, did Vedal ever talk about why he even wanted to do that? It's just like pure interest. She called Cinder out multiple times, actually, yeah.
Vedal's hard work and diligence did not stop there.
Because why not?
He continuously
Probably, right?
upgrades and updates Neuro-sama regularly, giving her new tricks, making her smarter, allowing her to interact with chat, sing, call her friends on Discord. She even runs her own Twitter now, which is why she's
I love her tweets, they're so funny.
beefing with Grok, naturally. But again, Vedal's diligence did not stop there. He created Evil, a twin sister for Neuro-sama. And so with Annie, the artist behind Neuro, serving as the mother, Vedal, the programmer, serving as the father.
Just a cutesy tiny family. And then there's so many people in the... I think they call it the Neuroverse. Like Camila, I can't think. There's many more. There's so many people that are in the quote-unquote Vedalverse, Neuroverse, whatever.
And Neuro
so many
and
aunties.
Evil, the two sisters. Vedal created VTubing's first family channel. And because of this, Neuro-sama and Vedal by proxy became the top
Vedal just has a harem, yeah.
female streamer on Twitch. A drunken British man.
He didn't get the top one, but he was really high for... was it for June or for the first half of the year? It was literally just posted like a few days ago. He was on it again. I think like 3rd or 4th place or something.
But also,
for female
Neuro-sama
Twitch
has
streamers.
also set world records, setting the world record for the largest
Sabaton.
Twitch hype train at the beginning of 2025. And this all comes down to Vedal's hard work and diligence. And that is why Vedal is the embodiment of the virtue of diligence.
Sure, he works a lot, but he also constantly drinks, so, you know, is he really the most diligent one? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Nah, he's doing great work.
An interesting fact about Vedal is that one time he nearly bankrupted an entire plushie company by accidentally giving his entire massive audience a free
He drinks diligently.
plushie promo, which you could consider to be extremely charitable. But even that level of accidental charity pales in comparison to the charity of our next VTuber.
Okay.
Charity.
This has to be Ironmouse. Ironmouse has done so much for the autoimmune thingy. Words, English, me bad speaking.
Is described as the selfless love and generosity towards others. And for Ironmouse, it isn't just her who is extremely charitable.
There it is,
It is
mostly.
her entire audience. And she would first be on the receiving end of her audience's charity before she would demonstrate it herself.
I wonder if it's the one that I'm thinking of, that when she was still very small streamer, she needed to raise money for a specific medical bed, and her chat raised it so fucking quickly. I think they raised it, the hospital bed one? Yeah, exactly, the hospital bed one. It's probably the one he's gonna mention, right? In 8 to 9 minutes, they were so fucking quick, man.
In an even greater
Has to be,
way.
right?
You see, Ironmouse unfortunately has common variable immunodeficiency.
That's the one.
An immune disease that leaves her largely bedridden and extremely susceptible to infection and disease. Because of this, she spends most of her time in a bed and requires a medical-grade bed, And early on in her career, she set out with a goal of raising $2,000 for her to get a new medical bed. Ironmouse set the fundraiser as a long-term goal and hoped to raise the $2,000 over the course of the next
Look at that, 243 days.
8 months. Foolish Ironmouse. Her audience raised the $2,000 in less than 10 minutes.
How many viewers did she have at the time? Like, yes, all of the audience was fucking amazing, but how many did she have? Like, I know she was, like, smaller there. I'm just curious. She had just gotten slightly bigger. Barely 1,000. But was still very small. I would assume. You would assume, okay, so at the time a little under 1,000. It's very wholesome. Like, genuinely, my heart is warming up, like, just listening to this.
Demonstrating their extreme levels of charity. This was early on in Ironmouse's career, before she became so huge. But she would pass this charity on. In more recent times, she would hold a legendary subathon in which she would surpass the at-the-time record holder, KoAlan, in active followers on Twitch, and she would pledge 50% of the income from this subathon to charity. Despite this act of charity, the 1% most insane among KoAlan's fans would become very upset that this anime bullshit dared to surpass their Oshi and husbando.
I'm sorry, but it's definitely way more than 1%. Like, obviously, KoAlan announces it, but looking at how big he is and at how much it was definitely more than just 1% of his fan base. Calling it even his fan base is... No, he just has a big 1%. Maybe it's more like that. It's a huge number. It was a huge number. Maybe it's just a huge 1%, sure. The usual parasocial fans, yeah. The underage kids, 100%, yeah. Like, 100% those, no.
But, unlike the insane 1% among his fan base, KoAlan actually respects Ironmouse, and when he would hold his own subathon reclaiming the title, he would follow in her example, pledging 50% of the income from that subathon to charity.
Now, if you wanna be in bad faith, you could say he only did that because Ironmouse did it before him, but 50% still went to charity. The money ended up still somewhere good. I think doesn't matter if he only did it because of her or not. The money still went to a good purpose. Like, the money still went to a good place, you know?
This demonstrates that not only is Ironmouse raising money for charity, she is inspiring others to do the same. Ironmouse has personally given $300,000 to the Immune Deficiency Foundation, and her fanbase has raised over $1 million for the same foundation. This makes Ironmouse the embodiment of charity. It could be said that giving so much to charity is a fantastic display of kindness. However, even Ironmouse's kindness pales in comparison to our next VTuber. Kindness is described as the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate.
Who is the kindest VTuber? Chat, what do you think? If you think of kindest, who do you think of? Silvervale? Oh, Silvervale is really sweet. Yeah, Silvervale is a really good guess. Cinta JK. You? Okay, chat, chill out. We're talking about big people. Zentraya? Oh, Zentraya is a really good guess. Oh, that's a really good guess. Very Doki and very true. Henya. Lots of good guesses. Let's see.
And our next VTuber has kindness at her very core. Unfortunately, this kindness was demonstrated through a great tragedy. Camilla is a VTuber who loves to meet with her fans.
Oh no. Oh. I know exactly what he's gonna talk about. This one is sad. The hammer incident. The sledgehammer incident. If he's not gonna talk about it, like, quickly TLDR. Someone gifted her, I think it was a plush, at a con. It had a tracker in it. He found where she lived and tried to break in with a sledgehammer. TLDR.
And it was at one of these fan meets that fate would take a dark
Yeah, he's
turn.
talking about it.
Camilla would receive a gift from a parasocial fan at one of these meets.
Bro, the sound of it. I don't remember, I don't remember if I played the sound of it live, like if I showed it to you guys, chat. But it's terrifying. It genuinely sounds so terrifying.
Unbeknownst to her, this gift held a dark secret, a tracking device. While Camilla was streaming, this parasocial fan used the tracking device to find out where she lived, and he would begin harassing her. He would knock on her windows while she was streaming, and there are clips of this happening. The next
it's so scary. Genuinely so scary.
day, while Camilla was live again.
What? Okay.
There was a sudden, loud bang. This parasocial fan was attempting to break into her house with a sledgehammer while she was live.
Lena's is so cute.
Oh, he's playing this. Oh, he's playing it. Yeah, trigger warning, I guess.
Oh my god, look at her little, like... What the fuck was that?
Bro. That's so scary.
What the fuck was that? Chat. What the... Hold on.
Someone said who farted, Jesus.
Fortunately, the cops were nearby, and this parasocial fan was arrested without anybody being hurt.
Yeah, and he also admitted that he just wanted to break in.
What's so scary about this situation is that this parasocial fan repeatedly told the cops, "It's okay. She's my friend."
How does that make it okay by... In what world does breaking in with a sledgehammer make it okay because you're friends? It's okay, but we're friends. I'm just a prank, bro.
But it's in the aftermath of this tragedy that Camilla's kindness would shine through. After this attempted home invasion, Camilla was obviously shaken up, and the decision was made that she would no longer do meet and greets with her fans. Instead of thinking about herself, which would be very understandable to do, Camilla was thinking about her fans, and was sad that she could no longer meet with her fan base and express how much she loves seeing them and their smiling faces, as well as giving them hugs.
I'm really sad to say this next part. I think from here on out, you don't know how depressing it is not being able to do IRL meet and greets anymore, or getting gifts from fans anymore. I always used to tell my mom how cute it was to hug my fans, and then you can feel them shaking when they hug you. It was such a cute feeling. Literally feel them shivering as they hug you, because it probably means so much to them. And
Man. Yeah. It was really, really sad. I feel bad for her, to be honest. Yeah, same. It's really, really sad.
I can't do that anymore. And just seeing their smile right in front of me in person, all because of one fucking guy.
At a time like this, when tensions and emotions are so high, there are no places to hide, and one's true character shines through. Yet Camilla was thinking about her fans and how greatly she enjoyed meeting with them. This demonstrates that kindness is at the very center of Camilla's character and is one of her core character traits. I believe that kindness is one of the things that makes Camilla, Camilla. And for that reason, I declare Camilla to be the embodiment of kindness.
Sure. Sure. I feel like Zentria also fits for kindness. Silvervale is also super kind. But in the way that Camimi was thinking rather of her fans than of herself. Very admirable. Very cute, very wholesome.
Suffering through such a tragic event
Madara
definitely requires a large deal of patience. Yet there is one VTuber who surpasses even Camilla in patience. Patience is described as the...
Who is patient? What VTuber is ever patient?
In the hospital.
Oh my god, what?
Yeah, patient.
Oh, a patient. I'm just... I want to say Bao, but there's more. Bao has been doing music for literal years. There's so many. Shylily. Bao's patient, yeah, she is. Sure, I don't know, but I don't know. Let's hear him out.
To endure suffering, delay, or hardship.
Actually, Doki, though. No, actually, though, you're onto something.
Without becoming angry or upset. And this VTuber suffered through great hardship when the entire system was set against her, and she endured it with grace and humility. At the time, DokiBird was known...
There it is, yeah, Doki, man. Bro, I remember, chat. This was before I ever became a VTuber or anything, when I was just like, on art Twitter, like seeing some VTuber posts here and there. I remember seeing a post just randomly on my timeline saying, I hope Selena is okay. We haven't heard from her in forever. Bro, little did anyone know at the time what was happening. Like, literally, little did anyone know what was about to happen. I'm so happy for her, man, that despite everything, she succeeded. She endured it. I mean, tragically, she almost did run out of patience. She did an attempt, but thankfully, it's all better now.
Selene Tatsuki, and she was working for the VTuber agency Niji Sanji. What fans didn't know is that behind the scenes, Selene was reportedly being taken advantage of by management at Niji Sanji and enduring a lot of bullying and a toxic work environment. This bullying and toxic work environment would take a toll on Selene Tatsuki, and she would attempt to, how do you say this on YouTube?
Yeah, attempt. She just did an attempt. I think we all understand what is meant by it.
Commit sewer slide. Despite this, Niji Sanji would decide to terminate Selene Tatsuki in a very toxic
ridiculous
manner. And the CEO of Niji Sanji would come out and say that the termination of Selene Tatsuki...
Bro, this was so big. Everyone was talking about this. For God's sake, Asmongold was talking about this. This got everywhere.
Was negligible. Obviously, this enraged the internet, and they set out with the goal of sinking the CEO's yacht. They did not succeed in sinking the CEO's yacht, but they did succeed in sinking Niji Sanji's stock prices.
Good. I also remember that for some reason, some mods still had privileges to Selene's channel at the time, and they were just spamming sub to DokiBird. Go check out DokiBird, because Selene, or Doki rather, had lost her access to the account, but for some reason they forgot about a handful of mods. So yeah, based mods.
Heh, got him. In the aftermath of this, more and more information would come out corroborating Selene Tatsuki's experience, including a leaked Niji Sanji contract, which just demonstrated how oppressive and toxic the company of Niji Sanji was. It's insane that there are still people supporting Niji Sanji
after all of this.
I don't get
You're crazy.
It. Despite all of this.
Especially with how much more shit came out after this, man.
Selen Tatsuki never lashed out, and she endured all of this with grace and humility. Selen Tatsuki would then return to her previous character of DokiBird and begin...
By the way, when she got this model right here, which is, I believe, by the same artist that did her Selen model compared to the other one, which with the twin tails, Niji sisters got angry and said she couldn't let go of Niji. No, she just liked the art style and she wanted to support her previous art mama. And in a sense, she felt, obviously, that she... Like, literally, she didn't just play a fucking character, Selen. She was Selen. It is part of her identity, and she just wanted to combine everything, what it is, into her new model. And it was a big F you to Niji, it was, true.
Her journey as an independent VTuber. She would receive a tremendous amount of support, and her patience paid off, because in modern times, DokiBird is absolutely killing it, being one of the top Marvel rival players in the world.
She's crazy.
A fact that I am
She's so crazy at FPS, man.
endlessly envious of, because it's the only game that I play, and I still suck. Because DokiBird endured with grace and patience when a billion-dollar company was set against her, I declare DokiBird to be the embodiment of patience. Now, Marvel Rivals is a game that sometimes does the opposite of embracing chastity, but the same cannot be said about our next VTuber. Chastity is the virtue of remaining pure and refraining from sexual activity.
Who the hell would be in there? What do y'all think? A chastity? I don't fucking know. Not good. I can think of a single one. Fillion? Fillion makes jokes all the time, though. Chibi, Doki, Lena, Ebiko, yeah, right. Nah. Totally Kirsche. Foresight? You guys really think Fillion? I don't know. To be fair, Fillion does try to stay family friendly and stuff. Henya? I don't know. Henya literally made the bones on a Dio joke. Although, Melody, crazy style. Battle. Fillion, I'm straight Filipino boy. Powder? Yeah, right. We had Cinder and Kindness. Yeah. Haven't looked.
And chastity, like humility, Rima? Is a virtue that so many VTubers struggle with. Now, it's almost expected coming from the females,
Fillion.
but even the guys struggle with
maybe we're getting a guy?
Virtue. And the thing is, they lie about it too. Rev Says Desu is a commentary VTuber who reports on internet game.
Bro, that's so bad. No, that's so wrong. Bro, no. No. Rev, literally, isn't he married? He's married. Rev, secret Guna, he's not a secret Guna. He has a wife, sure, he does. He might be explaining, maybe. Rev also does, or did, or role-played with femboys on Twitter. Just by that single thing. Chastity completely out. This merge out is totally sexualized. Let me actually look up this on Uvu Market, the Ref Says Desu stuff. Ref has a fucking Ducky Makura. Bro. Bro. This is so borderline. This is so borderline that I'm even scared showing this on Twitch. This is so borderline, I'm scared showing that on Twitch. Ducky. This is cute. Like having his wife as like the plushies. So yeah, let's hear him out.
Virtue. And the thing is, they lie about it too. Rev Says Desu is a commentary VTuber who reports on internet gaming and VTuber news. and he has repeatedly stated that he does not sexualize his character. Now, he is
I have never heard him say that. I'm gonna be honest.
telling the truth if you just look at his videos. However, if you open up his merch shop,
oh, okay,
it tells a completely different story.
Well, okay, fair enough.
On the other hand, Falside is a commentary VTuber.
We were baited. We were baited! We were baited so hard!
Who does much the same as Rev, reporting on internet and VTuber news in a news anchor-esque voice.
Fair enough.
Unlike Rev, Falside really does refrain from sexualizing his character.
I don't know, I think guy literally just reports the news. Quote unquote, like, Twitch, not Twitch news, VTuber news, right? Like, sure.
All Falside does is reports the news. Even
literally.
If you dig deeper and look at Falside's merch, he does not sexualize his character. And there really isn't too much to be said about Falside and Chastity.
I mean, I don't really think Falside does anything much else apart from news. I don't know. I mean, False is a reporter, better than Anna Valance, oh my god. But he does censor stuff that does go to the risky zone for YouTube. I mean, yeah. Does anyone remember Kyo? I do, yeah.
Simply because it's something that he doesn't do. But in a sea of content creators where 90...
I mean, why? I don't know. There just isn't really a point to sexualize yourself when you just literally solely report the news. Which, I feel like there's a distinction to be held between Rev and Falside. I don't know, Rev is more like drama, right? Sure, Falside also reports on VTuber drama, but he does it in a professional news reporter sense.
5% of VTubers sexualize their characters. Being one of the few that simply doesn't do it makes Falside stand out. And for that, I declare Falside the embodiment of the virtue of chastity.
Sure.
Simply reporting the news in an objective manner has gotten Falside into some hot water, and refusing to lash out when that happens has required some temperance from
Sounds
Falside.
like a reporter? Yeah.
However,
Does.
even Falside's temperance pales in comparison to our final VTuber. Temperance is described as the quality of moderation or...
Damn out. Yeah, right. Who doesn't drink alcohol? What? Is there a temperate VTuber? Like, especially that falls into, like, I don't know.
Self-restraint.
And
no
Yoshino?
other VTuber has required more temperance
Silver?
than
Billion?
Nuxtaku.
Nux! He's Jewish, right? I mean, I guess kind of would make sense. Me and Nux follow each other on Twitter. I could DM him and ask him, do you drink alcohol? I could ask him. Imagine very first fucking DM between me and Nux. Yo, you ever drink?
Who is a male commentary VTuber and a self-described enjoyer of chaos. And his career has been defined by repeatedly being stabbed in the back by his friends. Nuxtaku's most recent betrayal put his temperance on full display. Nuxtaku used to run a podcast with Mudahar as well as Oompaville called the...
Okay, maybe I'm reading too much into the alcohol part of this. Sorry.
VTuber. Temperance is described as the quality of moderation or self-restraint.
Okay, it's self-restraint. Okay. I'm sorry, I read alcohol, that was gone. I read alcohol and it was over. You know what? Yeah, self-restraint. I don't know. Have you guys seen how he's going off on Hassan on Twitter? I don't think he's holding back. So ask him the question though.
And no other VTuber has required more temperance than Nuxtaku.
Like self-restraint, people really forgot about him and Tiger Drama. Like, yeah, he like jumped the gun with the Tiger Drama, which he does say it's his biggest regret. He does say that, so I think anyone in the audience, anyone watching him can move on. The rest is private, but
Nuxtaku is a male commentary VTuber and a self-described enjoyer of chaos. And his career has been defined by repeatedly being stabbed in the back by his friends.
Sure.
Nuxtaku's most recent betrayal put his temperance on full display. Nuxtaku used to run a podcast with Mutahar as well as Oompaville called the Some Ordinary Podcast, and Mutahar and Oompaville were two of Nuxtaku's best friends online. However, a few months ago, Mutahar betrayed Nuxtaku and out of the blue released a hit piece video on Nux.
I wouldn't call it a hit piece video, but he did him dirty. Apparently, they talked privately and they're all good. Like, they talked privately and they're all chill.
Called Post Nux Clarity. Legendary video title, by the way. Nuxtaku is one of the most controversial VTubers in the world, and there are armies of people willing to hate on Nux at the drop of the hat. Yet even Nuxtaku's haters couldn't stand behind post-Nux Clarity. Mutahar could have made good use of this advice. If you're gonna bring the tea, make sure it isn't stale. Everything that Mutahar brought up in
Bro, the Mutahar video was literally just throwing Nux under the water while saying, yeah, his fault, not mine. I don't know. No, I didn't do this. He showed all of this to me. But why though? Public eye. To have a good image in the public eye. Because at the time, Nux was already falling out of favor on the public eye. Nux had a really bad reputation. Mutahar didn't want to associate with him anymore because apparently it's just business.
Post-Nux Clarity was old news. He didn't bring anything new to the table. And the
Twitter
worst
got
part
to him. Yeah, and he also said he would quit Twitter, and then he came back to Twitter.
He dropped Post-Nux Clarity because he felt pressured to disavow Nux because of Redditors.
It's worse than Twitter got to him. Reddit got to him. Are you for real?
Post-Nux Clarity was an egregious betrayal by one of Nuxtaku's closest friends.
And then Sonic Shoe Medal? Bro, I actually think... Like, look at it. Look at the timeline. Once Mutahar got that Sonic Shoe Medal, everything started going down. I'm just saying. Also, what's his name? Freaking Idubs also got that medal, and his life started going down. There's a curse. There's a fucking curse. That Sonic Shoe Medal, it's a fucking curse. Never get it. Never.
But it also put Nuxtaku's temperance on full display. Nuxtaku's audience, as well as Nuxtaku's other friends, told Nux that he was being far too easy on Mutahar in the aftermath of post-Nux Clarity. But
he probably just didn't want to deal with it. He had other shit to deal with. He probably could get behind someone wanting to, like, publicly distance themselves. He didn't want to... Okay, let me say it another way. You guys know Tactone? Tactone distances himself actively from people so they don't get into trouble. He, as well as Asmongold, he does that too. They both essentially one of the big reasons they stopped doing the Steak and Eggs podcast is to protect Emiru, because she is getting so much shit just for being friends with them. So, I'm guessing, from Nux's perspective, he was okay with his friends publicly distancing themselves from them. Which, I get it personally too. Like, I don't want to bring other people that are around me down either. Like, I spew some controversies up occasionally, right? Like, I'm confrontational online, right? Like, if someone's being a retard to me, I'm a retard back, right? I do have occasional Twitter beef. I don't want to bring other people down with it. Like, I told Rosie, bro, if I'm ever doing too much, just tell me. I'll stop. I don't want to like put you down or anything. Which she is like, obviously she doesn't have to support everything what I say, right? And obviously she doesn't. Like, we disagree on things on like some point, sure. But yeah, I don't want to bring other people that are relating to me down either, just because I'm very outspoken on things. And so I can get it if that was his like way of thinking in this situation.
Nuxtaku chose the path of peace. Nuxtaku reached out to Mutahar behind the scenes and had private conversations with him, instead of retaliating in kind, like he was justified in doing so.
But unlike some other situation where someone gets backstabbed and therefore they are arch nemesis, I completely forgive Mutahar for this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you do. To be sent his way. Obviously,
of course you do.
He is my friend, and
yeah.
Instead of
it's very respectable of Nux. I don't know if someone, like, if a friend of mine dropped this. Like, let's say Rosie dropped a video on me, like Udaha did on Nux. Bro, I'd be so hurt. I'd be so fucking hurt, and I wouldn't be able to, like, forgive it that easily and that quickly. Like, huge fucking respect.
Retaliating, Nuxtaku chose temperance and forgave Mutahar, and now they are friends again, and both Nuxtaku and Mutahar are living rent-free in the head of the second biggest political streamer on Twitch.
But I think you should channel all of this negative energy and unite against Kazan! No, that was a joke.
And for that, I declare Nuxtaku
the
embodiment of temperance. You know what? Fuck it.
Hey,
I'm never
what?
gonna
That's
beat
me.
The Optimus Prime allegations. Autobots.
Yo, what?
Roll out.
Damn. So, they counted 2 VTubers in 2 weeks and failed both times. Wait, I didn't know he made that video. Oh shit. He set the line. Yeah, he did. Good video. I enjoy his videos. Might watch this one. Although this is really old news, so I might watch this privately. Like, this is super old news. Mom, we're famous? Yeah, we're famous now. Jujutsu Jumpscare, yeah. Yeah, good video, good video. Yeah, give it a like. Have it running in the background. Give it some views. Boost it in the algorithm. Leave a comment. Yeah. Good video. Good video.